Okay, I've just set the pressure, and actually it is actually working now. You'll have to excuse me bodge of sort of setup because I bought this tester and it's not got everything, so that's actually a brake pipe going on to, so basically that's the one going into the whir, which is that should be going to there, so it goes into that pipe, that's to the gauge, that one's to the gauge, and then through and back and into the whir. So basically the gauge is in the whir. You're meant to sort of have a locking one just before the whir here, so you can turn it off and check the system pressure. But to be fair, because this was blocked, when this was blocked, the system pressure was about 75, which is about right, so I don't think I need to do that. That adjustment underneath did work really well. I sort of wound it outwards to sort of lower the mixture, well, lower the pressure, and I got it to about, it's difficult to say because with the temperature, lots of people are saying different things. Most people say between 43 and 55, so I reckoned on about, but one guy sort of did a video of his and his was running nice, and his was sort of 46 with it running and whatever. So I've set it to 46 and it seems dead. It seems to sort of wake up a little bit at that. When you sort of set it, it's like riching up the mixture, which it probably does. It kind of sounds a bit more smooth and not as lumpy, because obviously before it was really weak, I think. So I set it at sort of 46 and had it running for a bit like that, and it seems quite happy at that. I've not messed about with the Allen key much. I mean, I don't know, as far as I'm aware, the Allen key doesn't make much difference to this. The Allen key really just sets the mixture at tick over. Once the flap's lifted off the sort of screw, it's to do with this, how rich it is. So I figured sort of 46. I can always play about with it because I've got the adjustment, so you just sort of pull it up and put an 5mm Allen key in the bottom and adjust it. I am going to put some tape, ducting tape over the bottom of it just to be sure that it's okay, so it's not leaking any air in. But yeah, and I've just left it for 20 minutes and it kind of dropped down. It was on about 35, 40 when I turned it off, and it gradually went down to 20. And it's just sat there. It's been there for like 15, nearly 20 minutes. Well, probably 20 minutes now. And it's not moving, it's just staying at 20, which is, I think, what it's meant to do. It shouldn't drop below 14 point something within 15 minutes, and it hasn't done. So yeah, I think at the moment, I'm happy that I've set that I've set the control pressure about right. I mean, this is just a cheap sort of gauge kit, so it could be a few psi either way, but it's kind of in the middle between 40 and 55, so I think we're probably going to be okay. And to be fair, I did want it to be a little bit low. I was going to do it a little bit lower because apparently you can get a little bit more power just by having it a little bit lower than what the spec is, but there's no real spec, I don't think, because the thing is, every engine is slightly different and it's a bit worn and whatever. I think the only way you could do it 100% conclusive properly will be to have it on a rolling road and adjust that while you're doing it and check it through the revs, see how lean it gets higher up. Because obviously I can check the mixture at idle, but that don't mean nothing really. It's what it's doing higher up. It could be richer lower down and getting weaker. As it goes up, it gets a bit weaker, but then it's got the enrichment by the vacuum. So I think that would be the way to test it on a dyno. Might end up doing that one day, but as long as it drives okay. I can't see as it drives as long as it goes a little bit better than it did before. It seems quite happy at that though. Yeah, like I say, it's obviously not dropping any pressure, which is good. And like I say, the system pressure when the whir was blocked, which is like turning the tap off if I had one there, is sort of 75, which is good. So I'm not quite sure what the cold pressure is. I'm not too arsed about that, to be honest. For 10-15 first 10 minutes of running and whatever, after that the bimetallic strip, the electronic strip in there, has done its job. So it's back to whatever you've set it at. So I don't see as it's any real issue. And I don't want to mess about too much because some of these unions, they're a bit of a, you know, I tightened them up and they're not leaking now, and that's it. So I don't want to keep doing it and pushing my luck. But no, I'm happy that that's a lot better than it was. I mean, like I said before, it was at 80. It was 75, 80 when it was running. So God knows what that was doing to the leanness of it. I mean, the way I sort of describe it, it's like having a big spring on your accelerator. Well, it's like the air flap would be opening, but the flap that sort of relates to that lifts up when the airflow goes past it, would have more resistance on it, so it wouldn't lift as much. So it's kind of like the throttle not opening all the way, but plus you've got more air in there, which makes it weaker. So you've not got the right amount of fuel to air ratio. And hence it's weak and it won't go as well. To be fair, it wasn't horrendous, but it's probably because I turned up the mixture on that a lot. Because when I tried to get it running now, before it was very lumpy, very rich. It was not very nice, and I weakened the mixture off, and it's much better. And then I had it running with a meat. So I think I kind of overcompensated by richening up the mixture lower down on the tick over, which maybe helped it a little bit. But no, I'm quite happy with that. The thing is, if it doesn't run properly now, or it's not quite right, I can always just lift this up, you know, give that Allen key underneath half a turn, you know, just work out on a ratchet, do it 180 degrees, and then give it another go and play about with it a little bit. I think you know, but if it runs okay as it is now and goes okay, I think I'm happy leaving it at that. I'm hoping that will sort out me intermittent funny starting, which is like vapor lock or something, because it's like it's getting no fuel, and it's done it once first thing in the morning, and it's done it once when I've been for a drive, went to a retail park, parked up for, I don't know, sort of half an hour, and came back and just didn't want to go. As soon as I put a bit of easy start in there, well, I don't use easy start because that's the devil's stuff. I just use brake cleaner. A bit of brake cleaner in there, it fired straight up, and then it was fine after that. So I think it is, you know, I may have something else going on, but I'm pretty sure it's fuel related anyway. I'm not 100% sure the thermo time switch thing, which activates the cold start, is working properly. Once I've got it driving a bit, you know, I'm happy driving, I'm happy that the sort of fuel pressure and stuff is right, then what I might do is just sort of get a tester on that in the mornings and have a look, see whether it's coming on all the time or not. Because sometimes it starts up lovely, sometimes it's... But that may be related to the fuel pressure. Probably not going to help matters. So yeah, that's it for Christmas now. I'm finishing for Christmas today. I'm going to leave this here, go home in my other car. I don't really want to drive home in it late at night now and test drive it in the evening. I'll probably come one day next week and just give it a run around, make sure it's okay, before I actually start driving it again and using it every day. Because then if I break down, I'm only sort of round the corner. But yeah, if you're enjoying the vids, subscribe, give me some likes. Lots of vagueness about the fuel pressures. You know, some people saying theirs is 50, some saying 40, some saying 46. Lots of people showing videos of it sort of 20 when it's cold, and then it's going up to sort of 46 or 40 or 50 when it's warm. So I don't think there's an exact figure really. I think that's the thing. But quite a lot of people I've heard mention 46, and the lowest I've heard is sort of 40, and the highest is 55. So I've kind of done it in the middle. Obviously, if you've got the proper gubbins and an emissions tester at the same time, and you know, really, I think you'd need a rolling road, because the emissions tester is only going to tell you on idle, and revving it up when it's stationary is not the same as under load when you're sort of putting your foot down. When it's sort of pulling it, you know, when the engine's under load, it will behave slightly differently. So, but yeah, if we can get it running nice like that, it's probably going to go up more fuel, but you know, as we've called it the money pit, you know what it's like. It's it keeps going. But yeah, so that's it for today. I think I've done all I intended to do. Got to put this back together now so I can drive it, just check it starts up, and then that's it. And I'll do another video. Next video will possibly, I'm going to put a LED reversing light under the bottom, because when I park on my drive, the reversing lights don't light it up enough. I've got that to do. I've bought myself a little electric air pump to put in the boot to pump up the original. I've got the original type of spare, the deflatable one, and I've got a little scissor jack, well, quite a strong scissor jack, just so I'm equipped to change a tyre if I have a flat tyre. I'd like a trolley jack, but I don't really want a trolley. There's no real where to put a trolley jack, to be fair. So yeah, nothing else. I think nothing else on the engine really. Then once I'm happy this is running okay, I've got another couple 100 miles to do, and then I can do the 500-mile service, and then like I say, I'm going to take the sump off and just bond it on with some proper gasket sealer. I can't remember that. I'll say the name. I'll do a video of that, but I'm not leaving that cork one on. It's stupid. I'm not bothering putting another one on. It's just going to leak. Besides that, the whole engine's lovely and dry, considering it's all been to bits. So it's only that I need to sort out. Yeah, you can see the fuel pressure's dropped to sort of 15 or so now. Is it 15? Yeah, 15. And how long has it been? Yeah, it's been half an hour now. So it's doing its job, I think. Okay, I'll speak to you next time.